Welcome back to another week with Kimmy. I keep telling myself I'm not going to sing and then I sing, so maybe that's just who I am. I don't know. Happy Saturday, y'all. Welcome back. Why did I just say y'all? I never fucking say y'all.
It's fall, y'all.
Fall, y'all. It's fall, y'all. Welcome back to another week. I hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. If you're watching this on a weekend, of course, I load these on Saturdays, but you could be watching it on a Monday. So let's just say I hope you're having a good week. And also, time is just a construct at this point. If you missed last week's video, it's because there wasn't one. I didn't feel like putting time and effort into a video last week given everything that was going on, and unfortunately it's a consistent thing in this country at the moment, and so when things like this happen, I would rather focus my time and efforts on what I'm able to do as an individual to try to make a change. So what I was doing was filling out petitions on change.org to demand that the Kenosha, Wisconsin police be held accountable for shooting Jacob Blake 7 times in the back. This is completely unacceptable that this is a recurring theme in our country at the moment. And if you are new to me as an individual or new to my channel or any of that, I want you to know that 100% Black Lives Matter. And if you don't agree, I ask you to look deep within yourself and ask why not. All of our lives don't matter until Black Lives Matter, and at the moment, unfortunately, it's just fucked up. And I implore you to look into ways that you can help. In the description box, I've put a couple of the links to the petition that I have already signed. And then there's also going to be a link to the GoFundMe page for Jacob Blake and his family. It would cover his medical bills, his legal bills, as well as the therapy that his kids are going to need because they were in the car at the time that it happened. I'm sick to my stomach that this continues to happen in our country, and I am doing everything I can to make sure that I am helping any way that I can. And the number one way I'm going to do that is by voting in November. And so I'm also going to include a link for you to check your registration, register to vote if you haven't, and see if your state is somewhere that you could actually request a mail-in ballot, because this November I feel like is unlike any other November since I've been an adult. And who we elect, not only in the presidential seat, but down ballot, is going to matter. And that's the only way that we're going to start to see effective change, is if we vote as if our brothers and sisters' lives depend on it, because at this point, that's where we are. I don't know. It just sucks. But I wanted to try to get back to a little bit of normalcy this week, and I figure I have a platform, so you're gonna probably hear more stuff like this in the future. So on a somewhat lighter note, it's the first week of September, so it means it's officially Halloween time. And if you're one of those people that's like, it's not even October yet, keep Halloween in October. I see all of you doing the same crap when it comes to Christmas, and so I have officially made Halloween 2 months long. In all reality, it's actually all year for us, but we really go hard for September and October. So to cheer myself up and to kind of get in the spirit and get in the feels of things, we got some Oktoberfest, we got some candy, we made some cookies, and I wanted to kind of get into my everyday fall look. This is something that I would do if I was going to horror nights or to the theme parks, and so I got a request on what I would do for fall, and so this is honestly what I would do pretty much all the time. If you look back at all of like our old escalator selfies and stuff like that, a lot of times I'm wearing some type of an orange copper eye. To change things up a little bit with this one, I kind of bring you through what I do, but I also kind of wanted to talk about things that make me happy during this fall season. So if you want to see more videos like this, then please give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It means a lot to me. And I'm gonna ask you to comment below a lot during the video, so hey, how about you comment below on the YouTube video, and then that would help me out too, and then we can have a conversation, get to know each other a little more. Cool? Cool. All right, without any other things for me to talk about, let's go ahead and get into the video. go ahead and prime just with my Urban Decay All Nighter Primer. Can you hear my dog? Pick great timing to do everything that I'm doing. So I'm getting pretty amped because we've already like created our lists as far as like our horror movies that we watch. It's nothing like monumental or new, but that's kind of always been our thing, is every October we watch all of our favorite horror movies and just Halloween movies in general. And so we've already got our list going. We kind of like to change it up, like I'll usually do like whatever's my favorite movies. Josh is usually the one that we recruit for finding out some movies that we haven't seen. He's got his ear a little bit more to the ground as far as like a horror community, so he is able to find stuff that we haven't seen, and then he usually picks those ones. We've been doing our watch list for everything we've been watching in quarantine, so as we do our Halloween ones, he'll be updating his Twitter, and I'll link that below if there's movies that you haven't seen that you want to. Our friend Gary also does like a YouTube channel where he'll review like 4 or 5 horror movies at a time, and I'll link his channel in the description box because he's really good at giving advice without giving any like spoilers on the movies or anything like that. But I feel like I've definitely evolved when it comes to watching and enjoying horror movies. Growing up, it was not for me. I think my earliest horror memory was watching a movie called Dolly Dearest. And it was with like my whole family. I can't remember how old I was. I had to have been like before elementary school for sure. I remember my grandma and grandpa were visiting, and it was my grandma Hill. She was hiding under my security blanket with me, saying how she didn't like horror movies either. And then from that moment on, any of my porcelain dolls that I had all went into the closet at night. Pretty sure I can't even find that movie anywhere. I think you could probably watch it on YouTube. I think when I looked on Amazon, it was like you could buy the DVD for $60. So don't know if it's worth that. But yeah, after that it was essentially like any doll movies I couldn't hang with. I was the youngest of 5, so all of my older siblings liked to we'll just say pick on me when it comes to horror movies. Like I wasn't able to watch the movie Halloween for the longest time because my brother Chris. My sister used to force me to watch Child's Play and like Killer Clowns. But then, you know, you grow older, you fall in love, and then you start to evolve and change. So now I really enjoy it, and I look forward to new movies coming out in theaters when they come, you know, back when that was a thing. Yeah, so I've definitely grown into them, if you will. I had opened up my Instagram to like questions, got like a couple responses, and one of them was, do I prefer newer movies or do I prefer horror, like older horror movies, and why? For me, I'm kind of torn because obviously I love some of the older horror movies because they set the standard and they set they're original and unique. Obviously watching them now with technology and stuff like that, it's changed, but they're still enjoyable. On the flip side of it, the technology with movies nowadays definitely can be effective when it comes to jump scares and different things like that. Like I do prefer more practical effects when it comes to makeup, obviously, because, you know, that's what I want my job to be. And I'm just correcting my under eyes. I will say though, as far as like a preference of horror movies, like my favorite types of horror movies are definitely like home invasion. Like Strangers is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. I also really like You're Next. Hush was a good one. I also kind of like paranormal stuff, like the Conjuring and movies like those. I really enjoy stuff like that. The thing that I realized that I can't get into is like sci-fi horror. Discovered that pretty early on into our relationship. I was just like, it's not for me. Like there are certain sci-fi movies that I enjoy, obviously, if you know me, but when it comes to like sci-fi with horror related elements to it, I just can't get into it. Like my excuse that I give myself is just that I feel like it's not realistic. And I know obviously like paranormal movies aren't realistic either, but I feel like I can connect more a little bit with it. Just gonna bronze. Yeah, comment below what your favorite horror movies are, or what you have to watch every year around this time. If there's any new movies that you've seen that you want people to know about, let me know. Obviously there's the classic like Halloween movies too. It doesn't necessarily have to be horror. There's obviously like Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town was a big one that I grew up with on Disney. Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie though. Literally, it's only Halloween for the first song, and then after that it's all about making Christmas. And I will die on that spirally hill, like standing by what I believe in. I go in and blush really quick. I'm actually going to use a new blush. I got the Mulan ColourPop collection. I wanted to kind of play with these. This one is the shade Good Luck Charm. I like it because they're pretty good sizes. The only thing that kind of throws me off a little bit is they have a ton of glitter in them, and usually I'm not big for shimmer on the cheeks. Like I don't even do like a shimmery highlight anymore, and that's just because as you get older you don't want like stuff to like accentuate the fact that you have pores and fine lines. So we'll see if this is too shimmery. So that's a stopping point where I kind of pause on the face, and then I'll do the eyes, and then the blush will usually fade anyway, so I'll go back in and add that later. Let's see. Alright, so my brows are done. Probably not even, but I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the eyeballs. Usually with Halloween looks, or my typical go-to fall look would be something in the orange world. Once again, not revolutionary, but I like warmer tones on me with my eye color because it's kind of gray hazel, so any orange, red, coppers, different colors like that are going to make my eye color pop a little bit more. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go in with a couple of different palettes today. I have the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette, and then I have the new Mulan ColourPop palette. There's this really dope like glittery red gold shade that I kind of want to play with, so I'm going to use that. Yep, let's just jump in. Are you stuck? Got it. I got it. Yeah. So another question I got off of my Instagram was, what's your favorite Halloween costume and why? And that's real difficult for me because every year we go all out for Halloween, so I have a ton that I love. I've been so many different things. I think that's the nice thing about living in California is, one, it's usually still like 80 degrees around Halloween time, so you can realistically wear whatever you want. Growing up in Colorado, your Halloween was usually like whatever costume you had and then like your heavy coat on top of it. I think I was Princess Jasmine wearing a heavy coat like 3 years in a row. But there were a couple of years in Colorado where it wasn't too bad. I think I was a hammerhead shark one year. My sister proceeded to step on my fins all night, so I face planted and like tripped a lot. There was another year that I was Carrie last minute because we found a dress similar to her prom dress in like old clothes in our basement. My sister used nail polish as blood all over my face. So really days of special effects, I guess. But as an adult, we really have kind of gone all out. Like every year for Halloween, we usually do Disneyland with like their Mickey's Halloween party, and recently it changed to Oogie Boogie's Halloween party, but we'll do that with my family, and then we also have friends that come in from Vegas and we'll do it with them. And we've been so many different things. I would say like last year's was a lot of fun because it was Spider-Gwen and Peter B. Parker. Spider-Man's my favorite comic book character, and I really loved the Into the Spider-Verse movie, so I got like a legit Spider-Gwen costume online. Like I could work on Hollywood Boulevard and like take pictures with people for tips. There was a year that my sister and I were on an Elsa, and that was really cool just because once again we got like really legit costumes, and the amount of like this was right at like the height of Frozen, and the amount of little girls that thought that we were on an Elsa. Usually I don't like random kids coming up to me, but this was really cute and really sweet. Like it just felt like they were meeting their idols, so that was fun. There was a year Josh and I were Max and Roxanne from Goofy movie. That was real cool. Oh, we did a gender swapped Jack and Sally. That was really cool. What have been your favorite costumes.
I really like when we did Wreck-It Ralph and Penelope.
Oh yeah, that was like one of the early. I think that was the first year that we did Disney with the family.
I believe you are correct.
Yeah.
Jurassic World one's fun too.
Oh yeah, we were Owen and Blue from Jurassic World. Yes, I was a raptor. I also got another question on my Instagram that was Ernest Scared Stupid, and I don't know if they were asking if I've seen that movie or what, but I have seen it. It was a long time ago, but Ernest is a classic. And there was another question that was also, is Katie the most wonderful pooch in the world? And yes, she is. We've never actually dressed her up for Halloween. She just kind of deals with our bullshit. And I've just essentially gone in with 3 shades in this palette so far. Love Handles, Feeling Myself, and Homebody. Homebody's what I'm doing right now. It's more of like a deep like terracotta orange to get a little bit of like depth on that outer corner. I feel like you guys have seen me do this look like a million times so far, but it's what I like on myself, you know? And then I'm going to take that same Homebody shade and just run it on my lower lash line. Alright, now I'm going to go in with that shade in the Mulan palette, the shade Loyal, right there. Fall treats. Comment below what your treats that are specific to fall that you like. I think for me, I'm pretty basic and I do like pumpkin spice, but I prefer Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin spice to Starbucks. Starbucks did come out with the pumpkin cold brew that I like though, but I still think I like the pumpkin spice latte, the iced pumpkin spice latte from Dunkin' more. But I like beer, obviously. Oktoberfest is one of my favorites. And I also really like the sugar cookies that you saw me eat earlier. We were talking about candy though the other day, and it's like, what kind of Halloween specific candy do you like? And I say Halloween specific because I feel like there's, you know, when you take your niece and nephew's candy, or if you go trick-or-treating as an adult at Disneyland, you get candy that you wouldn't normally buy. Like Kit Kat is my favorite candy bar probably, and like Reese's. But, and I love getting those during Halloween, but you can get those anytime during the year, like, you know, most candy, but still. I would say I actually really like getting, like, Tootsie Pops, like the Tootsie Roll Pops, because I'm not going to buy a Tootsie Roll Pop at the store. I'm going to be controversial and say Almond Joys. Blech. Well, I could say the same thing for you though, because you like Milk Duds and stuff.
Milk Duds are a classic, iconic.
I feel like Almond Joys are also classic.
Nah, garbage.
You done? Did you find where you want to?
Nope. Emoji
And there we go. So I got my mascara on, and the eyes pretty much where I like them on myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on a lip real quick, and then we'll wrap it up.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
That's the final look. I love a monochromatic vibe, so I tend to keep everything in the same color family when it comes to my typical everyday September to October look. I just put on the Sephora Jelly Melt lip color in the shade Foxtrot. I like it because it's kind of like a peachy orange, but this is a stain, so it has a gloss to it at first, and then as the gloss kind of fades, the lip color is still there. Like I said, if you know me, you know that I don't really like to fuss with my lipstick all night, because if I'm at Horror Nights or Not Scary Farm or Disneyland or any of that, then I don't really have to worry about my lip color, because I'm going to be eating candy and drinking beer and maybe screaming if it's a scary thing, so I don't want to have to stress about it. But I hope you enjoyed this look. If you want to see other fall colors that I would do, like if you want to see more of a red based one, or maybe like a mossy green and yellow one, leave a comment below. Let me know what you'd want to see next. Comment on the YouTube video. That really helps me out. Yeah, otherwise I will see you with next week's video. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend, and happy fall, y'all.
Bye.